Right. You cannot blame a transporter because a transporter also goes to the filling station to buy. And beyond buying, you also queue. You remember how many man hour is going to waste buying the fuel. So I think we must stop solving problem from the surface. You must go to the root of the problem. And what is the root of the problem? The problem is the cost of buying the fuel and the man hour wasted. You told us earlier that there will be, you recall when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said fuel subsidy is gone. Perhaps even when President Muhammad Buhari was planning to remove fuel subsidy, he also said there will be CNG availability. I can tell you now, people are also queuing to buy CNG, which is surprising. You are telling us to convert, but for us to also buy CNG, we also want to queue. I also went there to do my conversion. They told me that you have to wait for some months. And I went to a new one that they said, that new one told me point blank that they don't have materials, that I should put down my phone number, that they are going to contact me when it is available. You could see there is no sign of maybe commitment on the federal government part to make sure that they really, really bring succor or to increase Nigerian purchasing power. And now we are only talking about transport. Remember, it's going to translate to cost of food in the market. The school fee, schools are going to resume by Monday. The school fee is going to increase. The transport to the school are going to increase. Rents are going to increase. So it has a lot of ripple effect. So when you are making some decisions, there's need for you to see, look at the fall out of it and also plan to mitigate the problem. So it's not ideal. It's not a good thing for you to say, transport, you must bring down your price. No, why not do your own side to make sure you reduce the cost of purchasing PMS?
Now, another highlight of this is in terms of what it will entail in tracking the loopholes in our oil. Dangote is saying that his supply would come with a tracker to monitor Nigeria's consumption patterns. Now, many had said we had lost a lot of revenue that should have accrued to the government's pocket because of the lack of will to monitor how much we export and how much we import. How essential and symbolic is this tracking of our daily consumption patterns?
Well, when you say tracking, I think that statement is vague. Dangote can tell us that he will know the amount of fuel is giving out. He can't say he can track them. You know why? Dangote is a businessman and he wants to increase his profit. So if he's selling 10 trucks and he still reason to sell 15 trucks, and you say, no, you can buy trucks. Dangote should focus on his business. One of the arguments was that Nigeria are consuming in essence that most of our fuel are going across border. Now that they are open, we don't see anything to benefit from those things. So I think Dangote should be conscious of his business. Tracking if things are going out of Nigeria, sure, should not be his business. But if he said he wants to track, what if they do want to on transloading? What about transloading? I can take a particular truck to a particular filling station and transload in supply chain, what we call transloading, to another truck, and I move it. What happens about that? So he should just be conscious of what he's saying, selling. Why governments are accustomed that will have to man the border do their own role. I think Dangote should make sure that he focuses on supplying Nigeria crude oil. PMS.
Now, Doctor, before we let you go, one final question, because we're running out of time on your end as we are looking to let you go this morning. It's on the projections with the Nigerian Labour Congress looking to lend its voice to the plight of Nigerians. The NLC is calling for an outright reversal of the current PMS hike and the electricity tariff hike as well. Let's get your thoughts on that as we look to wrap up.
Right. I listened to your very instructive guest when he was talking about NLC. He said he do want to talk about NLC. For me, I think NLC is doing the right thing. The only thing is that when you are doing the right thing in a wrong environment, it becomes a problem. You notice that the federal government are trying to stifle NLC. I can tell you that, from the issue of the way they are harassing them, they are not allowing them to say what they want to say. In terms of NLC coming out to actually say, for me, NLC should continue to strive for Nigerians, because look at it now. You have increased salary to 70,000, and remember that 7,000 has not kicked off yet. Recall, it has not kicked off. Now you are reducing, I mean, you are increasing price of PMS without you reckon that even the same money you are giving is going to lose value. I can tell you that the increment is $40. I mean, you are saying that you are paying Nigerians $40 in a month. Look at that. Look at it compared to other states, and look at the purchasing power there. So I think NLC, they have right to say, you are giving us this, you are even taking it away the other way around. That's the cost of surviving, the cost of purchasing power. Let me even surprise you beyond PMS. Nigerians spend about 65 to 70% on food consumption. So if you spend 70% of your salary on food consumption, how much will you spend on rent? How much will you spend on school fees? How much will you spend on logistics and even transport to your offices? That's where you see that the $40 that we are giving, it's not something to reckon with. So I think NNC have the right to continue to complain about well-being of the